He was returning from London that morning, bearing gifts, as always. Of course, the best gift of all would have been his taking her to London with him. When he got home, she was determined to extract a promise from him that next time he would take her, rather than leave her to sulk around Drayton Manor. She was sure she could convince him. The house felt so empty when he was gone, oddly quiet and lonely. Everyone, upstairs and downstairs, tiptoed around labyrinthine hallways and spoke in hushed voices. Redio, redire, ready. Finally, Cassandra heard the wheels of the carriage on the drive and closed her Latin book with a clap. She ran out of the library and down a flight of stairs to the front door, which Baxter, the butler, held open, and launched herself toward the just-stopped carriage. Behind her, Miss Fairfax followed, moving at a more ladylike pace. Lord James Drayton climbed out, a big smile across his face, and 2 packages in his arms. His thick sandy curls fell across his forehead rakishly. "My love!" He planted a kiss on his daughter's cheek and handed her one of the parcels. "Here you go. I've missed you so." "Thank you." She inspected the package, a rectangular box wrapped in brown paper, the size of 2 or 3 stacked dictionaries. Probably a neatly folded petticoat, or a brocade jacket, or a fur capelet, like the one she had seen in the copy of The Queen she had taken from her aunt, Lady Eugenia Grey, her father's sister, who visited too often and stayed too long, in Cassandra's opinion. "But you know what I really want?" she sighed and said in her most pathetic voice. "Papa, why won't you take me with you? It is so dull here when you are gone." "You have Miss Fairfax and your lessons," he replied with gentle resolve. "Now don't roll your eyes at me. You'll see plenty of London soon enough for your debut and the season. Why rush things?" Yet at 13, Cassandra knew that was a few years off. A span of time that seemed an eternity. The prospect of entering society was an event that thrilled her to no end. She had envisioned every minute and every detail of her first ball, down to the exact shade of pale blush of her silk gown and the tight gold ringlets in her hair, pinned to perfection with diamond-encrusted combs. But for the time being, Cassandra was sheltered and closely guarded. It seemed as if her father feared the world would crush her, like a porcelain door under the heel of its boot. Cassandra fumed. She knew she should be grateful, and in truth was dying to see what was in the package. Her father always surprised her with lavish gifts, embroidered slippers, bejewelled brooches and hair combs, and strings of pearls. Any other girl would have been pleased with the gift, but embers of frustration smouldered in her stomach. Her cheeks flushed with anger, while she was left floating restlessly through the echoing hallways of Drayton Manor. She imagined her father was gallivanting around London, attending balls and dinner parties, dining at his club with acquaintances and associates. The tidbits of gossip her Aunt Eugenia read aloud from society columns shed light on that other twinkling world outside of Cassandra's grasp. Cassandra would sneak sections of the paper up to her room and read and reread them voraciously, imagining herself taking walks in Hyde Park, sipping afternoon tea, and eavesdropping on the hushed chatter that fueled her aunt's beloved lady pages. Cassandra sucked in her lips. "My dear, are you all right? Miss Fairfax? Is she well?" He turned to Fairfax, who answered with a perplexed shrug. "She was this morning, my lord." Lord Drayton's gaze lingered on Miss Fairfax, whose flawless complexion blushed to a dusty rose. His face was strong and angular, but still a bit boyish. A flirtatious light danced across his eyes. Cassandra saw for a moment she was not the centre of her father's or Miss Fairfax's attention, which amplified the sting. "I'm fine," she grumbled. You always leave me here."